Well, hey friends, how's it going? Today is Friday, and I came out to the greenhouse for a second to check on my cruciferous friends out here. And man, I've really been thinking a lot about how many friends of mine that come out to the farm and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. You're an organic farm." I'm like, "No, we're not. No, Lord, no, we're not organic." Are you kidding me? I'm like, "Whoa, everything out here is you're not spraying anything." Well, like, yeah, we're not spraying anything, but we're not organic. Well, what do you mean? Well, I don't want to use a term like organic that the government has taken and completely adulterated, and anytime we have a label that the government puts any sort of regulation so that it can define it and tax it and track it, it's going to adulterate it, and it's going to drag the standards of it lower and lower and lower, so that, oh, now organic can also incorporate this, oh, and it can have that in it. It's not to make it hard. What I'm doing here, this is beyond organic. This is biomimicry. This is trying to mimic exactly the way God created nature and to align myself with that. And if I have weeds in my garden, those are symptoms that somewhere I've gone astray. Sure, yeah, weeds are gonna happen here and there, but I'm not gonna kill the symptoms. I'm not a micromanager of symptoms. Or the bugs. Bugs are a good example. Bugs have sensors in them that they're trying to find plants where the mineral content of the plant is wobberjocky. Something's out of kilter, out of whack, and its job is to find those plants and to take them out. That's its only job. So if I do this right, I won't have bug problems. And if I do, maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe they're trying to tell me something. But when we go to the grocery store, and I was there yesterday, looking at the organic stuff, and I had no idea who it came from, what kind of soil it was grown on, what kind of practices that farmer has. The reality of it is for those of us city vegan foodies that are going to Dillon's and buying a cartload of organic stuff, you're not any healthier sometimes or better off than the person that buys food that doesn't have the organic labeling on it, because many of the same practices that are in the industrial organic market of food production are also used in the conventional. Yeah, sure, there are certain stipulations and regulations that prohibit conventional people or organic people from using certain pesticides or herbicides. But the whole point of eating food is how many of these little micro vitamins and minerals and nutrients can I get into my body. And the only way we can have access to those is if these little plants are placed on soil with the right fertility, the right quorum sensing network that is produced by unadulterated, uninterrupted bacteria and fungi, the same as our gut. A healthy soil has a diverse amount of bacteria in it, the same as our gut. If we don't have the bacteria in our gut to digest the food, we can't access the minerals. Well, the same is true in my garden. My gut is a garden. It's the same. It's all the same. And the answer resides not in organic. The answer resides in our backyard gardens, trying to figure out how to steward the process that God gave us when He designed nature and mimic that. Because I got news. Despite our draconian attempts to manage nature and stuff it in a box and force nature into our straight lines and perfectly, weed-free gardens and fields, nature is not broken. When we do it nature's way, it will far surpass and far outproduce anything we could ever imagine that we've come up with. Anything that we have designed as man is not going to outproduce the abundance God could give us if we just followed His ways and mimicked what He's already given us. And as much as we like, it's much easier to manage those straight lines and perfectly aesthetic weed-free gardens. That's not reality. Life is not like that. Our lives are not completely weed-free. There's weeds everywhere. And we have to be able to see beauty with the weeds in the way. We, on this fake Facebook world we live in, where we don't see the weeds when people post pictures, we just see the perfect stuff. Well, we've almost sort of taken that away from the human experience. We don't want to deal with the bad stuff. We just kill it, get it out of the way. Well, it has a purpose. It has a place. The symptoms are there to tell us something. Anyway, parting thought. The answer is not organic. The answer is your local, neighborhood, backyard, small-scale, regenerative farm. You can make a garden that can grow a heck of a lot of food if you do it the right way. And there's so many people on YouTube that are doing this now. Go find one. Go find your local farmer down the road and go ask him to, to grow some chicken for you, or, some zucchini or tomatoes or squash, and go visit him and say hi to him and patronize him and tip him the same way you would the car hop at the place you go to that gives you food that is just going to, give you chronic disease and make you dependent on the healthcare system. Those dollars are better spent elsewhere. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will catch you tomorrow. See ya.